Alright, so today we're looking at Beartrap Fork. Here's kind of the trailhead. It starts just right up the road of Big Cottonwood. There's like a big metal gate. But besides that, you just kind of park, and if there's no parking, find somewhere else to park. And the trail starts off pretty easy. There's a lot of shade, a lot of aspens. And it's pretty well maintained trail as well. And then you can see there's just a ton of aspens. It's just thick with aspen. So if you're an aspen kind of guy, this trail will be great for you. There's also a lot of big meadows and fields. I'm surprised I didn't see any moose or any other big animals like deer up in these meadows, but this would be a place to find it. But here's a little guy, a chipmunk, as you may call him. He's just chilling on this log, and I just thought he was a cool guy. Thumbs up. And on this little portion, it was pretty wet from all the rain, so a lot of mushrooms are up here. If you know what kind of mushroom this is, cool. You can tell us if you want, or keep it a secret. It's up to you. And as you can see, it's starting to get pretty steep after the first mile or so. Yeah, it just keeps going up and up. Here's a guy named Nolan, and here's another big meadow. You can kind of see where we're trying to get up to over there. But it just slowly inclines up and just starts getting steeper and steeper. And I'm starting to get a little tired in this heat. There's a little woodpecker up there. I'm not sure what kind it is. I'm gonna guess a red-headed woodpecker because it has a red head. But he's loving the trees up here. Tons of shade, which is very nice in this heat. And then, as you can see, it just starts getting super steep right before you get up on this ridge. So watch out. It gets very steep. And as you can see, we're trying to get up here. It is the kind of crossroads of this hike part. There's Desolation Peak, which I'm about to go up. And then over there is Silver Peak on the left there. You can see there's a ton of helicopters flying around. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I'm gonna assume either some kind of training or they're just flying in some kind of material to be built. Maybe some kind of ski lift or something. But the last 4 hours I was up here, I just could hear constant helicopters flying around, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. And you can see he now doesn't have his little attachment on the bottom there. If you know what kind of helicopter this is, that's kind of a nerd thing to know. Why would you know that? But, you know, maybe share in the comments if you do know. What is he doing up here? I just don't get it. And you can kind of see Silver Peak over there. But the main attraction, I just can't get enough of these helicopters flying around. There's so many. One of them got super close to me, but it was too fast. I couldn't whip out my camera in time. But yeah, they just keep coming to that spot over there and doing something. I'm not sure what they're doing. There he goes. And here's kind of the top of Desolation Peak. It's not quite 10,000 feet. It's pretty high up. There's some guys over there, I would assume, doing maintenance work on the lift, unless they're just two bros chilling up here. They've got jackets on, which is kind of weird. It's like 100 degrees, but okay. And yeah, not much of a peak on this one, but at least you can say you did it, I guess. It's pretty hot up here. And there's a trail we need to take to get to Silver Peak. And you can kind of see it a little better. That's Desolation, the one we just did. And I decided to just bushwhack up this trail, start trying to get to the top of the peak. And here we are at Desolation, or not Desolation, Silver Peak. It's like barely 10,000 feet, like literally just barely. It's weird how that happened. But yeah, just a lot of rocks, nothing too crazy up here. I wish the smoke wasn't everywhere. I could get a much clearer shot, but what are you gonna do? And this is a route I should have taken. I should have just came from this ridge, but I didn't know this trail, so oh well. There's another helicopter that flew right above me. They're just everywhere, like flying just everywhere. It's kind of weird. They're like birds, but not really. And that's where we are coming from. And there's kind of Park City. This is Desolation Lake down there. I couldn't get a consensus if there's fish in there. I doubt there is. Maybe I'll do a video from the other route going to Desolation. Maybe I'll do a camping video, but it doesn't look too big. There was a couple of people down there. And now I'm going across this ridge by that little intersection because there's some geocaches down the ridge. So I thought I might as well just see what's over here. And you can see in the distance that little peak thing is what we're trying to get to. It doesn't have a name on a peak bag or anything, but it's kind of a little prominence point. You can see all the mountains, even though they're super smoky. And that's the end of where we're trying to get to over there. And here we are on top of it. Yeah, you can get a really nice view. It's very smoky. What are you gonna do? The ridge probably took me an extra hour or so. Nothing too much over here, but I came. Alright, so I rate these hikes using 3 criteria: solitude, scenery, and difficulty. Solitude is just how few people are up on the trail with you. Scenery is just obviously the nice natural features and other cool things on the hike. And then difficulty is just how hard the actual hike is. So for solitude, I give it a 7. I did come on a Tuesday, so that's probably a lot less people than usual. But still, I only saw a couple people up here, and most of the people were at the top of the ridge line. And there was only a couple people at the lake I could see, so overall like a 7. And then scenery, I'd probably give it a solid 8. Just really nice views of all the mountains in Big Cottonwood, Mill Creek, just everything around. Desolation Lake is pretty cool. But it's just kind of all the same, aspen, pine. There's not a ton of variety, but the variety there is just really cool views. And then difficulty, it was a little cooler today, which made it nice and all the shade. But overall, I'd probably give it a 7. The first mile isn't too bad. The last mile is really steep. And then once you're on the ridge line, it's not too bad. The peaks themselves were probably a 7 as well. Nothing too crazy up here. Just kind of long and steep. There's a lot of shade though, but once you're on the ridge, wear sunscreen because it's just rock. So if you enjoyed this video, do what you want and have a nice day.